Be me, 28, sworn in as a police officer 3 weeks ago. Finally made it through the academy after 2 years of fighting for this. Not just fighting the physical requirements, fighting the system itself. The entire institution is designed to favour a certain type of person, if you know what I mean. Had to file 2 complaints during training about unconscious bias in the evaluation process. My defensive tactics instructor kept saying I needed to use my lower body strength more. Yeah, okay Chad, maybe if you didn't design every test around upper body power. Wrote a 15-page memo to the commissioner about reforming physical standards. Got a very polite letter back saying they'd take it under consideration, which obviously means they ignored it. But I passed anyway, because I'm resourceful. Found studies showing that de-escalation and communication skills matter more than brute strength. Brought them to every review meeting. Eventually they had to pass me. Couldn't risk the optics of holding back one of only 3 women in the class. First day on the street, partnered with Officer Matthews. He's been on the force for 8 years. Exactly the kind of guy who probably peaked in high school. Square jaw, short hair, does that annoying thing where he rests his hand on his belt. Tried to make small talk at first. So, tough academy, huh? When did you graduate? I know what he's really asking. He wants to know if I could keep up. Give him a tight smile and say it was fine. He does this little nod like sure it was. I can read between the lines. Already decided I'm some diversity hire. Already decided I don't belong here. First few shifts are routine stuff. Noise complaints, shoplifting calls, welfare checks. Matthews does this thing where he just automatically takes the lead on everything. Doesn't even ask, just assumes he should be the one making contact. One call, domestic disturbance, he literally steps in front of me as we approach the door. I pull him aside after. Hey, I noticed you kind of took point back there without discussing it. He looks confused. Oh, just habit, I guess. Well, maybe we should be more intentional about examining those habits. He stares at me for a second. Sure, yeah, we can switch off. Says it like he's humouring a child. I let it go for now, but make a mental note. Spend my off days reading updated training materials. There's this whole new framework about community-oriented policing. Emphasizes dialogue, understanding root causes, treating enforcement as a last resort. Makes so much more sense than the old warrior mentality. The academy gave it lip service, but most of the instructors clearly didn't buy in. One of them literally called it hippie nonsense, under his breath. But it's the future of policing whether these dinosaurs like it or not. Decide I'm going to actually implement it properly. Be the change I want to see. Week 2, get called to a parking lot disturbance. Some guy apparently screaming it. People acting erratic. Matthews drives, I'm riding passenger. He's got that focused look, not saying much. We pull up and there's a man, maybe mid-30s, pacing in circles, yelling about how they are watching him, clearly in some kind of crisis. Matthews starts to get out and I touch his arm. Wait, let me handle this one. He frowns but nods. You want backup? I've got it, just stay close. This is exactly the kind of situation where a different approach works better. Get out of the car slowly, hands visible, non-threatening posture. Use my calm voice, the one I practiced. Hey there, I'm Officer Collins, are you okay? The guy spins around, eyes wild. He's sweating, pupils dilated. They sent you, you're one of them. I'm here to help, I'm not here to hurt you or arrest you. Try to keep my voice level, non-confrontational. Inch closer slowly. Can see Matthews in my peripheral vision, hand on his radio. So typical, already ready to escalate. Ignore him, focus on the subject. What's your name? Can you tell me your name? Guy is breathing hard, looking around frantically. You need to listen to me, they're in the cars, in the lights. Okay, I hear you, that sounds really scary. Validate his feelings, build rapport. Exactly like the new training materials say. Take another step closer. Why don't we go somewhere quieter where we can talk about this? Reach out my hand slowly, palm up, inviting. The guy is looking at my hand. He's shaking now. Maybe drugs, maybe mental health crisis, doesn't matter. He needs help, not handcuffs. It's okay, I just want to help. Feel good about this. Feel like I'm actually doing real police work, not the macho tough guy routine. Actual community care. This is why I became a cop, to do it the right way. Guy suddenly lunges forward. Happens so fast I barely process it. His hand goes to his waistband. I see something dark and metallic. Time slows down in that weird way. Should probably step back. Should probably draw my weapon. But that's exactly the kind of reactionary response that gets people killed. Probably just a phone or a wallet. Probably just reaching for ID. Can't just assume threat. That's how unarmed people get shot. I've read the statistics. I know how this goes. Stand my ground. Keep my hand extended. Hey, it's okay. Whatever you need to show me. Then Matthews is there. Seemingly appears out of nowhere. Grabs my vest strap and literally yanks me backward. I stumble. Almost fall. He's already moved in front of me. Hands up! Show me your hands! His voice is completely different. Hard and commanding. The guy freezes. Matthews has his gun drawn, pointed at the subject. I said, hands up now! The guy slowly raises his shaking hands. There's something in his right hand. Matthews moves in, quick and controlled, kicks the guy's legs out, takes him to the ground. I'm still processing what just happened. Feel a flash of anger? He totally undermined me. Matthews has the guy cuffed in about 10 seconds. He's talking into his radio, requesting additional units and EMS. Picks up the object that fell from the guy's hand. It's a folding knife. Blade is about 4 inches, now lying open on the asphalt. Stare at it. Matthews doesn't look at me, focuses on securing the scene. I should feel grateful, maybe. Instead, I feel humiliated. And angry. He didn't trust me to handle it. He made me look incompetent. In front of this guy, in front of anyone watching. After the guy is loaded into the ambulance, Matthews finally turns to me. You okay? His voice is careful, neutral. I had it under control. The words come out harder than I intend. He takes a breath. Collins, he had a knife. I could have handled it. Maybe. Or maybe you'd be on the way to the hospital. Right now. He's so condescending. Like he's explaining basic math to someone who can't count. I was building rapport. I was de-escalating. You were about to get stabbed. Clench my jaw. You don't know that. He just looks at me for a long moment. I really hope you're right, and I overreacted. Seriously. Walks back to the car. I stand there feeling like an idiot. But also still angry. He didn't give me a chance. Didn't let me prove I could do it my way. Just assumed I needed saving. Just assumed his way was right. This is exactly the problem with the old guard. They can't imagine any approach but force and dominance. Rest of the shift is tense and quiet. Matthews doesn't bring it up again. I don't either. But it's sitting there, between us. Every call after that, I can feel him watching me. Evaluating me. Waiting for me to screw up. Makes my skin crawl. End of shift, I write up my report of the incident. Describe it as a successful mental health intervention, subject secured without injury. Leave out most of the details about Matthews pulling me back. Frame it as a team effort. Go home and can't sleep. Keep seeing that knife on the ground. Keep thinking about how close it was to my body when Matthews pulled me back. Maybe 3 feet. Guy could have covered that in a second. Stop it. Can't think like that. Can't let fear dictate response. That's how the cycle of violence perpetuates. If I had just kept calm, kept talking, the guy would have responded to that energy. Matthews interrupted the process. Probably made things worse in the long run. That guy is going to remember cops as aggressive and hostile now, instead of helpful and understanding. Next few days, similar pattern. Matthews keeps happening to be the one who makes contact first on any potentially risky call. It's subtle enough that I can't directly call it out. But I notice. Start documenting it. Little notes in my phone about each incident. Building a case if I need it. Mention it casually to the one other woman on our shift. Officer Park, she's been around for 5 years. Yeah, some of the guys are like that. Wait for her to agree that it's a problem. But honestly, Collins, Matthews is one of the better ones. He literally pulled me away from a subject last week. She gives me this look. The one with the knife? Yeah. Maybe he was just watching your 6. She doesn't get it either, or she's been assimilated into the culture. Happens to women in male-dominated fields. Adopt the masculine framework to survive. It's sad, actually. Week 3, night shift. Get a call about a disturbance at a bar downtown. Possible fight, possibly armed subject. 2 units dispatched, us and another team. Matthews is driving again. He always drives. Probably some control thing. Pull up to the bar. It's one of those dive places. Neon beer signs, motorcycles parked outside. Can hear yelling from inside. The other unit arrives same time as us. It's Officer Rodriguez and his rookie. Rodriguez does that chin-up nod thing at Matthews. They have a whole wordless communication thing. Probably years of working together in the boys' club. We all head to the entrance. I make sure I'm in front this time. Not going to let Matthews sideline me again. Push through the door first. Inside is chaos. 2 guys are squared up in the middle of the bar. Both big, both drunk. Crowd around them cheering. Bartender looks stressed. One of the guys, bald with tattoos up his neck, throws a punch. Connects with the other guy's jaw. The other guy, wearing a leather vest, stumbles back into a table. Bottles crash to the floor. Okay, this is it. This is where I prove myself. Use my command voice. Police! Break it up! Some people in the crowd turn and look. The fighters don't stop. Bald guy is on top of vest guy now, throwing punches. I move toward them, feel Matthews close behind me, too close, probably ready to jump in front of me again. Not this time. I get to the fighters and grab bald guy's shoulder. I said, break it up! He spins around. His eyes are unfocused, drunk, and angry. He's maybe 6'2", easily over 200 pounds. For just a second, I feel how much bigger he is than me. Shake it off. Size doesn't matter if you're smart about it. Get off me. He tries to shake my hand off his shoulder. I maintain my grip, use my stern voice. You need to calm down right now. I said get off. He shoves me. Not hard enough to knock me down, but I stumble back a step. The crowd gets louder. Feel that hot flash of adrenaline. Also, embarrassment. Can sense Matthews moving closer. No. I've got this. Key is to not escalate. Stay calm. Redirect his energy. Sir, I understand you're upset, but you need to. He shoves me again, harder this time. I actually stumble back into a chair. Catch myself on a table. He's advancing on me now, pointing his finger in my face. You don't understand shit. His breath smells like whiskey and cigarettes. He's way too close. In my personal space. Should probably create distance. Should probably call for Matthews. But that would be admitting I can't handle it. Stand my ground. Sir, last warning. You need to back up. Try to sound authoritative, but my voice comes out shakier than I want. He doesn't back up. Instead, he pokes his finger into my vest. Make me, bitch! The word hits me like a slap. Of course that's what he goes to. Probably wouldn't talk to Matthews like that. Probably wouldn't even be testing a male officer like this. Feel anger rise up, hot and bitter. You're under arrest for assault on a police officer. Reach for my cuffs. He laughs. Actually laughs. Then he swings. His fist comes at my face. Manage to duck mostly out of the way. It glances off my temple, still hurts. Stars in my vision for a second. He's grabbing at my vest now, his weight pushing me backward. I try to remember my defensive tactics training, but he's so much heavier than the practice dummies, so much stronger than my academy partners who were always told to go easy. We crash into another table. I'm on my back now. He's above me. His fist cocks back again. This is bad. This is really bad. Try to bring my arms up to protect my face. Then his weight is just gone. Matthews has him from behind. Arm wrapped around the guy's neck in a control hold. Takes him to the ground so fast it looks effortless. Rodriguez is there too suddenly. They have the guy cuffed before I even get back to my feet. The whole bar has gone quiet. Everyone is staring. At me. On the ground. Needing to be rescued. Again. Matthews appears in front of me. Offers his hand. I don't want to take it. But getting up on my own while everyone watches feels worse. Let him help me up. You hurt? Shake my head, even though my temple is throbbing. I'm fine. He's looking at me with this expression. Not quite pity, not quite frustration. Something worse. Concern, maybe. Like I'm a liability. Rodriguez has the bald guy secured, walking him out. His rookie is dealing with vest guy, who gave up immediately. Probably would have fought harder if Matthews had grabbed him first. Probably the size difference. Nothing to do with actual skill or technique. The bartender comes over. Thank you, officers. Jesus. I'm sorry about that. He's talking to Matthews, not me. Doesn't even look at me. I'm invisible now. Just the girl who got knocked down. Back at the car, Matthews doesn't say anything for a while. Finally, you should get that looked at. Touch my temple. There's a lump forming. It's fine. Collins? Nah. I said it's fine. Silence. He starts the car. I stare out the window. My hands are shaking a little. Hide them under my thighs so he won't see. Halfway back to the station, he speaks again. Can I say something? And you can tell me to shut up if you want. Don't respond. He takes that as permission. I think maybe you're trying to prove something. And I get it. I do. Being a woman in this job, you probably feel like you have to work twice as hard. My jaw clenches. But some of these situations, they don't care about proving points. That guy wasn't going to respond to de-escalation. He was drunk, aggressive, looking for a fight. You don't know that. I do, though. 8 years of doing this, you start to recognize the signs. Turn to look at him. So what? I'm just supposed to go in swinging? Prove I'm tough? Play by the boys' rules? No. I'm saying you need to read the situation and respond appropriately. That's what I was trying to do. By letting him shove you twice before reacting? Heat rises to my face. I was giving him a chance to comply. You were giving him a chance to hurt you. Want to argue? Want to explain that the whole system is based on escalation and dominance, that someone has to break the cycle, that if we just keep meeting force with force, nothing ever changes. But I'm tired, and my head hurts, and my hands won't stop shaking. Just forget it, he sighs. Collins, for what it's worth, I don't think you're weak or incompetent or whatever you think. Think I think. Could have fooled me. I think you're idealistic, and that's not terrible, but idealism can get you killed on this job. Don't answer. Rest of the drive is silent. Get back to the station. Write up my report. Describe the incident accurately this time. Subject became violent. Had to be subdued by assisting officers. Reading it makes me feel small. Makes me feel like a failure. Think about my academy graduation. How proud I was. How I was going to change things from the inside. Be the kind of cop that actually helps people. Now I'm just another cop who needed backup. Another officer who can't handle themselves. Worse, another woman proving the skeptics right. End of shift. Matthews stops me in the parking lot. Hey, you okay to drive home? Yeah. Why wouldn't I be? He hesitates. Just checking. Starts to walk away, then turns back. You know, my second week on the job, I got my ass handed to me by a guy half my size. Crackhead with superhuman strength. Took 3 of us to get him in cuffs. I went home that night and seriously thought about quitting. Wait for the point. But my training officer told me something. He said this job isn't about being the toughest or the strongest. It's about being smart enough to know when you need help, and not being too proud to ask for it. He shrugs. Just something to think about. Walks to his car. Sit in mine for a while. Look at myself in the rear-view mirror. There's a bruise forming on my temple. Purple and ugly. Going to be hard to hide tomorrow. Everyone will see it. Everyone will know. The girl cop who couldn't handle a drunk. Probably exactly what they expected. Think about Matthew's story. Probably made it up to make me feel better. Condescending, really. Pretending he ever struggled like this. Pretending he knows what it's like. Drive home. Roommate asks what happened to my head. Just work. She knows not to push. Go to my room and sit on my bed. Think about filing a complaint. About Matthews being overbearing, not giving me space to do my job. About the systemic issues that make it impossible for women to succeed in this field. About how the entire structure needs reform. Start drafting an email to the sergeant in my head, getting pretty detailed, building a solid case. Then I remember the knife on the ground, 4 inches of steel that could have gone in my ribs. Remember the guy's fist coming at my face. How heavy he was when he had me on the ground. How easily he could have done real damage. Shake my head. I'm thinking about it wrong. Looking at it through their framework. Letting their fear-based mentality contaminate my perspective. If I had just maintained better control of the situation. If I'd been more assertive sooner. If Matthews hadn't been hovering, making me self-conscious. It would have gone differently. Yeah, that's it. The problem isn't my approach. The problem is, I'm not being allowed to fully implement it. Matthews keeps interfering at crucial moments, preventing me from seeing it through. Next time, I'll make sure he stays back. Make it clear I need space to work. Set better boundaries. That's the real issue here. Boundaries. Lie back on my bed, close my eyes. My head throbs. My pride throbs worse. Think about tomorrow's shift. About facing everyone who probably heard what happened. About the looks I'll get. About Matthew's careful concern. About proving I belong. Fall asleep telling myself I'll do better. I'll show them. I'll prove the approach works if they just let me use it. I'm right about this. I know I'm right. The fact that it hasn't worked yet doesn't mean it won't. Just means I need to try harder. Be smarter. Not let them psych me out. Not let their old school tactics become my tactics. Stay true to my principles. That's what matters. Drift off with my phone in my hand. Last thought before sleep. Maybe I should document all of this. Maybe this would make a good complaint to the commissioner. Show the barriers women face. The way partners undermine instead of support. The structural problems. Yeah. Definitely going to write that up. Definitely going to make them listen. Someday.